the NHL has found itself, courtesy of the Philadelphia Flyers, in the midst of a huge gay pride LGBTQ controversy. How did we get here? How did the NHL, whose base of support is, frankly, as I said earlier, if I were stereotyping the average NHL fan in America, I would say he lives in the Midwest, is probably 30 to 40 pounds overweight, loves beer, wildly politically incorrect, and in general thinks about transgender issues and LGBTQ-related issues 0 minutes of his day, all right? Yet the NHL recently tweeted out of nowhere, trans women are real women, and I'm paraphrasing. That was basically what the NHL decided to tweet, which, by the way, isn't true, okay? It isn't true. You can choose your gender. I think you should be able to choose your race. Doesn't mean it's real, right? Like when you were in high school and somebody dressed up every day like a vampire and made their face really white and dressed all in black and said, I'm depressed, you didn't also have to believe that they fed on blood exclusively and otherwise would die, right? Or that they were immortal, or that you couldn't see their picture in the mirror. They dressed up like a vampire. They were goth. It's their right. If it makes them happier, more power to them. But you didn't have to pretend they were actual vampires, right? This is craziness. So men can't get pregnant. There are men. There are women. At birth, doctors get the gender right? I've been in the birthing room. Been fortunate to have 3 boys. The doctor has looked down 3 different times and said, it's a boy. I'm sure if I had a girl, doctor would have looked down 3 different times and said, it's a girl. All right? Kind of know, right? Not an expert. Didn't get my MD. But all 3 times that I was in the birthing room when we had children, I said, yeah, it's a boy. Pretty confident that's a penis. That's a boy. All right? So this whole idea that the NHL needs to get involved in transgender issues is crazy, right? If you're an adult, you want to change your gender, fine. If you're an adult, you want to change your race, fine. If you're an adult and you want to pretend you're a vampire, fine. Whatever, okay? You do what makes you happy. But this idea that everybody has to celebrate something, this is important because we've moved from, hey, where I am, right? You make your life choices as an adult, I'll make mine. And I want you to be as happy as you possibly can be. I am very live and let live. If you decide you want to sleep with dudes and you're also a dude, more power to you. I genuinely don't care. In fact, plot twist, cheat code. When I was in college, do you know what I recognized? So for all the heterosexual guys out there who maybe haven't had this light bulb moment, the more gay dudes there are, the less competition for women there is. Like, I've never understood why straight men are threatened by gay men. Gay men cancel each other out of competition for women. I went to college at GW, George Washington University. Washington, D.C. has a huge gay population. We had a ton of gay people at GW. I was all in favor of as many gay dudes as possible because then they can run off and do their gay stuff, be happy, live their best life. And all the girls are looking around like there's hardly any straight dudes left. I'm the straight dude. That benefits me. I want there being more gay dudes. I'll be, if it were like 9 gay dudes and me and the world came to a close and there were 1,000 straight women, I like my odds. I just do. So anyway, you live your life, I'll live mine. If you're gay, more power to you. Sleep with whoever you want. If you're an adult, no problems whatsoever with adults making adult life choices. Consenting adults can do what consenting adults want to do. But there's a difference between being like, hey, you do what you want to do, and I'm going to celebrate what you do, right? There's a big difference. And so we've moved from, hey, you make your life choice and I'll make my life choice, to, hey, we are going to celebrate what you do. I am so proud that you bang dudes that I'm going to dress differently to support you banging dudes. I am so much in favor of women, I am really kind of in favor of this, making out, that I'm going to just, it's kind of a difficult argument, because if you told me, hey, the rainbow only supports hot chicks making out with each other, I'd be like, yeah, maybe I'll wear the rainbow. I would probably wear the rainbow. I don't care enough one way or the other, but I certainly understand why people out there say, hey, I don't want to be forced to do anything. My co-host on radio just a few minutes ago, Buck Sexton, he was like, I voted for Trump. If you told me that in order to go to a Trump rally, I had to wear a MAGA hat, I wouldn't want to do that. I'm similar. I don't want to be told what to do, okay? So I respect the fact that Ivan Provorov, whose name I may be mispronouncing, he's Russian, he said that because of his religion, he didn't want to wear the gay pride uniform. And I guess they were wearing them out for a skate around. And everybody lost their mind in the left-wing media. Now, sports media. I've been telling you this for a long time. Sports media is far left-wing biased, even more than political media, even more than culture media, more than any other media outlets out there. And I knew as soon as I saw this story that it was going to be a huge controversy. And, of course, the ESPN lead hockey writer is like, well, he wore the military support uniform. Well, yeah, that's different. You don't have to support everything, right? Like, you can say, hey, I support the military, and I want to celebrate what they do, and I don't want to celebrate gay lifestyle or transgender people, right? Like, that's not really that complicated. Yet, it's not acceptable. It is unacceptable for many people out there, the left wing in this country. And I give credit to the Flyers. I give credit to the Flyers coach. I give credit to anybody out there who said, hey, you know what? I may be gay, but I don't think that people should have to celebrate my lifestyle. Some people said that. I don't think that acceptance and celebration are the same thing. There are lots of things you can be okay with people choosing to do in their own life and not want to make a big deal of celebrating it. I'll give you an example. I'm okay with Ukraine defending their borders from Russian invasion. I don't really want to wear a Ukraine flag because I don't really celebrate Ukraine. I don't live there. If Zelensky were to get a bust in the United States, I would say, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know why we're putting up statues to foreign leaders. Doesn't mean that I'm opposed to Ukraine. I certainly even support their defense of their borders. Doesn't mean that I want to go to war over them. Doesn't mean that I want to spend $100 billion necessarily to support it. Does that make sense? We have conflated the idea of supporting something, supporting someone's right to do something, and outwardly saying, I celebrate what you're doing, right? There's a difference between permit and allowing something and being forced to say, oh, I think this is happening, and it's a superb thing, and I want to endorse it with every fiber of my being. And it's been very consistent, but overwhelmingly we move from we're going to do this, and we have to be allowed to do it, to if you don't praise this, you are a bigot. It's amazing how quickly that shift happens. The slippery slope is real. I hope every gay person in America is happy. I'm fine with gay people getting married. I'm fine with gay people doing whatever makes them happier. But I also don't have any problem at all with Ivan Provorov being like, yeah, not really that much of a LGBTQ guy. They got asked an interesting question recently. One of my kids said, when I see a rainbow now, I think about gay people because gay people have taken over the rainbow as their official sort of designated symbol. And he said to me in our conversation, he said, do you think of the rainbow and its association with gay people? I said, no. His mom was also in the car. She was like, no, I really don't. Because when we were kids growing up, I thought of a rainbow as, oh, there's a rainbow. I wonder if there's a pot of gold and leprechauns at the end of it. Or, oh, there's a rainbow. That's really pretty. Roy G. Biv, that's all the colors of the rainbow, right? And I do think it's interesting the degree to which we've allowed the co-opting of certain opinions in our country to exist and then accelerated it towards there's only one acceptable opinion. I can see clearly how Ivan Provorov can say what he said. I also think there's a lot of people who agree with him and just say, you know what, it's not worth the battle, right? I think that's probably the majority of hockey players. I bet the majority of hockey players are like, yeah, I don't really want to wear this LGBTQ uniform, but I also don't want to deal with the certain storm of outrage and indignation that I will get if I choose not to wear it. So most people just meekly acquiesce and go along with whatever the prevailing current is because they don't really want to create a stir, because they really just want to play hockey and they don't want to suddenly have 20 different reporters surrounding them, berating them about their choice and lecturing them about why their choice is unacceptable. So that's my take on it. I also, from a pure business perspective, do not understand the NHL's recent decisions. I don't understand why they're having an employment fair in Florida that bans white people that Ron DeSantis had to call out and effectively make them cancel. I don't understand why they're saying something which is factually untrue, which is that trans women are real women. That isn't true, right? That is a falsehood. You can identify as a woman. You are not a real woman. Men cannot get pregnant, right? Biology is real. And why in the world is the NHL choosing individual teams, that is, choosing to have gay hockey nights? Are gay people not welcome at NHL games now? Is there some massive discrimination that gay people are facing when they try to come watch hockey games? Again, there is a degree of uniparty that demands that everyone have the same opinion. And if you question it at all, if you're the tiny bit rebellious, even if you agree, I like Buck Sexton's example of, hey, if you voted for Trump and you say you have to wear a hat to go to a rally, I wouldn't want to do that, right? I'm a nonconformist in general. I don't like being told what I have to do anywhere. I mean, you're looking at a guy who wears T-shirts and shorts pretty much all the time. So I just would encourage you all to think about that.